What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we kick off a brand new month. We're going to be celebrating the 60th birthday of Johnny Depp. And the first movie we're going to be discussing as we kick off this celebration is Johnny Depp in Cry Baby, alongside Amy Locane, Polly Bergen, Ricki Lake, Traci Lords, Kim McGuire, Darren E. Burrows, Susan Tyrrell, Iggy Pop, Troy Donahue, and Willem Dafoe. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's a new month, a new theme, and this month we're going to be celebrating the 60th birthday of the legendary actor Johnny Depp. And some of you may wonder why we're starting with this movie. And honestly, that's because we had to really pick and choose what movies we were going to do for Johnny Depp month. We couldn't start at the beginning. We've already done A Nightmare on Elm Street. If you missed me do that review last year for Halloween, we'll link it up here. We didn't want to start with something like What's Eating Gilbert Grape because we're going to do that when we get to Leonardo DiCaprio as he turns 50. I want to say it's next year. We didn't want to get into like Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that because we're going to do a Tim Burton month. We didn't want to do something like Rango because it's a non-Disney animated movie. So there's a month of stuff to do. Cartoon movies that aren't Disney related. We don't want to get into something like Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a 5-movie franchise. We didn't want to do something like Dark Shadows because that's a TV show that got turned into a movie. And then you think of things like Charlie's Angels, Beverly Hillbillies, etc. So we had to really pick and choose the choices for this month for Johnny Depp. So we're going to kick things off with Cry Baby. And our movie opens in 1954, Baltimore, Maryland. And Wade, Crybaby Walker, is the leader of a gang of drapes or greasers, which includes his sister Pepper, who's a teenage mother, Wanda Woodward, whose post-World War II normal parents constantly embarrass her, the facially disfigured Mona Hatchetface Malnarowski, and Milton Hackett, Hatchetface's devoted boyfriend. Now, Crybaby's ability to shed one single tear excites all of the girls. One day after school, Allison Vernon Williams, a beautiful girl who is tired of being a square, approaches him, and the two fall in love. Now, that same day, Crybaby interrupts a talent show that is being held at the charm school ran by Allison's grandmother, and he introduces himself to her, and she kind of doubts his motives. Crybaby then invites Allison to a party at Turkey Point, a local hangout spot for the drapes. Now, despite her grandmother's skepticism, Allison accompanies Crybaby to Turkey Point, where she is given a drape makeover by Hatchetface, Pepper, and Wanda, and then sings a duet on stage with Crybaby. Later that night, Crybaby tells Allison that his father was sent to the electric chair for being the Alphabet Bomber, a killer who bombed places in alphabetical order, along with his mother as an accomplice. Allison tells him that her parents took separate flights for safety, but both planes went down, orphaning her. While they are talking, Allison's jealous square boyfriend, Baldwin, ignites a riot, and Crybaby is wrongfully blamed for the fight and sent to a penitentiary, outraging all of his friends and even Allison's grandmother, who is impressed by Crybaby's clear love for Allison. When Lenora Frigid, a girl with an unrequited crush on Crybaby, claims to be pregnant with his child, Allison feels betrayed and returns to Baldwin in the squares, although her grandmother warns her against rushing into a decision. Meanwhile, in the penitentiary, Crybaby gets a teardrop tattoo from fellow Drape Dupree, telling him that, quote, I've been hurt all my life, but real tears wash away. This one is for Allison, and I want it to last forever. Eventually, after performing with Baldwin and the Whiffles at a new theme park, Allison is persuaded by the newly established alliance between the Drapes and her grandmother to stand by Crybaby and join the campaign for his release. So she goes to sing in front of the jail with the other Drapes. Their performance persuades the judge to release Crybaby. Baldwin immediately insults him, revealing that his grandfather is the one who electrocuted Crybaby's father, and that every Christmas his family laughs at the retelling of the story. Crybaby then challenges him to a chicken race. Crybaby wins as Baldwin chickens out, and Crybaby is reunited with Allison. During the race, Pepper gives birth to a baby in the back seat, and her boyfriend proposes by holding up a sign. All of the bystanders watching the race begin to cry one single tear, except for Allison and Crybaby, who have finally let go of their past, enabling him to cry from both eyes as our movie comes to its end. This was a fun movie to watch. I had never seen it before watching it to review it, and it it totally fit with Johnny Depp's personality. It's funny, there's a little bit of drama, there's sarcasm and wit and parody and kind of weirdness. I'm not sure if that's because it's Johnny Depp or because it's directed by John Waters, and he's known for all that type of stuff too. But regardless, I really kind of had fun watching this movie. It was one I'd kind of stayed away from for a while, and I'm not really sure why, because I enjoyed Johnny Depp. Amy Locane, I think of her from Melrose Place. I think of her from Airheads. You know, she had a pretty decent career there in the early to mid 90s. And then you got Ricki Lake, you've got Traci Lords, you've got Willem Dafoe, who had worked with Johnny Depp on Platoon, which is another one we really could have done for him, but he was a featured player in that. It wasn't his movie. It was Charlie Sheen, it was Tom Berenger, it was Willem Dafoe. It was their movie. Johnny Depp was just kind of there. But I digress. But Crybaby, you had that 50s greaser story to it. It was kind of a mock musical. It was just a fun viewing experience. And I know I've said that a couple times, but I just want to hit that point home because if for whatever reason you haven't seen Crybaby and you haven't experienced it yet, for whatever your reasons are, I do recommend that you give it a watch just to say that you've seen it. And especially if you're a fan of any of those people that I named that are in this movie, and especially Johnny Depp. When it comes to my rating for Crybaby, keeping in mind it's the first time I've seen it, and generally I go low on those type of movies to see if it has the rewatchability factor for me. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 stars for Crybaby. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. We're going to be taking a look at a Disney Plus original movie entitled Crater, starring Isaiah Russell Bailey, McKenna Grace, Billy Barrett, Austin Hung, Thomas Boyce, Michael Papajohn, and Hero Hunter. And then later on in the evening, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be time once again for the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham, the Heeb Man James Hebert, and whoever else from the crew decides to step into the studio and up to the microphone will be able to engage with us and you, the viewers, as we discuss the week of professional wrestling. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, Crater for new release Saturday, Open Mic Night, and we're just kicking off our month of Johnny Depp. So you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the movies we're going to be reviewing right here on Renegades Reviews. So make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Johnny Depp, fans of Traci Lords, fans of Ricki Lake, fans of Amy Locane, fans of Willem Dafoe. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video, share it with them, as that's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are, in fact, a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.